This has been and how sorry I am for the devastation that's been caused. Now, I have been working for years in Harrisburg to try to convince my fellow legislators, and I know the folks here don't need any convincing. But at some point, we got to say, we're just tired of coming to places like this and saying, I'm really so sorry for your loss. If that's the better, all the better we can do, then what are we? We call ourselves public servants, and yet all we can do is say, I'm so sorry for your loss. We can do something about this. We can do something to prevent some of the stuff that happened here. We can do something to help people clean up, and we need to do that. And so the message I got from everyone here is loud and clear. You know, we need help, and it doesn't take too many people, too many testimonies to understand that this is absolutely true. These folks have been devastated. Just look around. And we do need to do something. So to my fellow legislators who are here, let's figure out how to do something and stop just saying, I'm sorry for your loss. Okay, anybody else want to say something? Bob, you want to say anything?
We appreciate the governor, Bob Harvey, County Commissioner here in Bucks County. We really appreciate the governor coming. The PEMA has been here really right on the ground right away, working with our emergency management agency, to visit sites like this one and ones in Bristol Township, Bristol Borough, and trying to document as many of the properties that have received damage of any kind as we can. So if there's anybody out there still who had any kind of damage from the storm on Monday, reach out to your local municipality, Bristol Borough, Bristol Township, then Salem Township. Let them know what the damage was so that we can get that added to the list. We need to make sure that we're capturing everybody's information here. And we are going to have a mutual asset resource center set up in Croydon, about halfway between where the damage was. Keystone Elementary, that's going to be Tuesday and Wednesday from 2 to 7. For anybody who received any kind of damage, we're going to have state officials, county officials, nonprofits, people there to offer any assistance that we can.
So how can we get that information? I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. So
There'll be a press release that the county and the state will put out.
We're going to be yes. Bucks County, the Bucks County Facebook page, Ben Salem Facebook page, all that.
And then what is the purpose for that? I mean, if there's really no monetary help from either the state that we have to wait on FEMA, what can they get from this immediately?
Sure. This is more of an information session. They'll be able to get in touch with any kind of agency or system or process that would help them to begin through or work through the recovery. We'll have Red Cross representatives there. We'll have different county agencies to allow for support of human services, children's services. Bucks IU is going to have Head Start program there. We have Department of Insurance from the state. They're going to have the insurance commissioner's office is going to be on site to help with insurance questions and help move those things along. Department of Public Assistance to help with anybody who may have some unmet needs. So we're trying to make sure that we're capturing things that are human need related initially to make sure that they're that they can get the services and systems in place.
But what information is going to be provided that wasn't already given on Tuesday, the day after the storm? What's going to be new? What's going to be different?
So we've had fairly good success with
This
these.
is Jeff Thomas from Pennsylvania Emergency Management.
So
Agency.
listen, I get the frustration. I absolutely get the frustration. I've unfortunately been with the governor way too many times when we've had these conversations. But these multi-agency resource centers, what we find is there's a lot of folks out there that will try to help with some of the mucking out, the helping you rebuild, the things that you need hands for, that really just haven't been connected yet. That's really what this does. There's a tremendous amount of volunteer power in the state of Pennsylvania. We have just great volunteers. So the information you will get is the questions that I have heard over and over about insurance. We'll have a professional there from the state and an advocate for consumers to try to answer your questions. I don't know whether you're insured or not, but they will, and they'll be able to help you with those things. So you get the answers from the people that really have the answers. That's really what we're trying to do, is get the right people so that you're not getting the runaround. I heard what you were saying, I get it, so that you're not getting the runaround. So the answer's coming right from the people that can give you the answers.
And if you are getting the runaround, you have somebody you can talk to who's going to do something about it.
Right, like a person that can, read through these policies
Right.
to see if...
That's exactly right.
Right.
Yes.
That would be a great help.
Yeah, well, they'll be there.
They will be.
What's it take to declare it a catastrophe? According to the insurance, it's not a catastrophe yet.
Yeah, Jeff, why don't you take that?
So I've heard a lot of numbers thrown around. Public assistance disaster. This is not what we're talking about. Everyone throws around the number of $19.7 million. That is a threshold for bridges, roads, public infrastructure. That's not what we're talking about. This is individuals that have been injured. And I would like to tell you that there is an exact number that FEMA has, but really what it is we have to prove that this is beyond the capabilities of the local community and the state to be able to respond. That is what FEMA tells us. And I also want to set some expectations. We're going to do everything we can to get everything we can for you. You know that. But I say yes, right? Pretty devastating around here. 120 some homes that were either completely destroyed or that were really major damage, like what you're seeing here. We tried to get a disaster deck. The governor, we put all the documents together. The governor wrote to the president, and it was denied because we didn't meet the threshold that the federal government, from their internal review. So I don't know what's going to happen with this. We're going to keep fighting until we know. But I also want to make sure that we all understand that's the bar. I mean, that we didn't get that, and that was the bar. And if we remember, ICS was pretty bad down here.
Right, but you said beyond the capability of the county. We have the county president. What are they saying? What I'm hearing is it's beyond their capability.
Well, Audrey, where'd Audrey go? We're still collecting damages, and Audrey's team is out, and our team is out. And I think that Tuesday and Wednesday are going to help us put that together because we need to have that picture, right? We really have to have that picture completed before we can make a decision. The other thing that I want to understand is if, in fact, we don't think we're going to get there, we'll also look at the Small Business Administration. That bar is lower, right? That bar is 25 homes or businesses that have more than 40% uninsured loss. We probably have that. The Small Business Administration declaration process is faster and easier. And if that happens, a lot of folks may be entitled to very low interest small business loans to rebuild. 30 years, even if you don't meet sometimes the bank criteria for credit, you will meet the Small Business Administration criteria for credit. I don't have the numbers in my head, but they're probably less than 2% interest. We have to look it up.
You're shaking your head, and you're right.
Yeah.
This is inadequate. Whatever we do is not enough, and it's not fast enough. What Jeff is talking about is where we are right now. I think all of us who are public servants have to take this and say, once again, we don't do enough, we don't do it fast enough, we have got to do more. Any other questions?
Governor, now that you've seen the damage here, and obviously people are still very upset about what's happening, is this now top priority for you to figure out how to help them immediately? And especially with the rain expected this weekend, how can we make sure that we're going to prevent this from happening again?
This has been a top priority for me for years. I have gone this has not just happened here, it's happened in different places all across Pennsylvania, in northern Pennsylvania, central Pennsylvania, western Pennsylvania, northwestern Pennsylvania. I mean, this happens all the time. And we have got to come up with a better answer than, sorry for your loss. Or we have this ream of papers you got to go through and procedures to figure out whether you qualify for something down the road or not. We got to do better than that. And this has been a priority for me for a long time. We were talking about, the stream back here. Who's responsible for what happens upstream here? Well, we're working on that too. But this just reinforces and reaffirms the commitment I already have to try to figure out how we address this, because this affects real human lives. Yes.
Governor,
Oh.
Pennsylvania is getting a lot of money from the American Rescue Fund. Bucks County got $3 million for tourism. Is there any money from those funds that can be allocated to help these people quicker, since the money's already in the bank at the county level?
That's a great question. Yeah, the answer is yes. The money is there. Now we have to get, how democracy works. You got to convince the people in the legislature to actually appropriate that money. But it's there. Yeah, it's there. And if I had my druthers, I would sign it right away to get it to you.
Talk about legislator pointing to the people in the legislative branch pointing to you.
Yeah,
Here, are you
that's-
laying the blame at the branch?
No, I'm saying, I can lay the blame on me. I haven't convinced them. We are in different parties. I mean, the majority is a Republican majority. I'm a Democrat. And so you can attribute this to partisan differences. And you can also say I didn't do a good enough job convincing them that we ought to do something here. But I think ultimately the reality is, one way or another, we all have to come to an agreement that the money that is there should be spent on things like this, either trying to prevent them or trying to address them. Yes, sir. Yeah, as she said. The county commissioner talking about Bob.
Yeah, the money we got, so the American Rescue Plan funds, things like that, the money that the county gets or has gotten is supposed to be used for very, very specific things. We are trying to read between the lines to make sure that we can use it for this. We believe we can use it to help people who have been made homeless. We're literally looking to see how much we can use and using it to people, giving it for people. Yeah.
We had something happen in Pennsylvania and Philadelphia here, I'm pretty sure. The government down City Hall was steal money off the taxpayers up here in Bucks County.
So we are.
Also, a few years ago,
Yeah.
they brought up these guys, they bought them, store contractors, giving them money for their stuff, steal money off the taxpayers. Now, is that money in the town for people?
We're looking at the money we're looking at is coming from the American Rescue Plan, the law that was passed to try and look for that. So we are looking at funding. No, not in the snow. We actually have to put in for it. That's what you're hearing. There has to be a certain threshold, that's hit. Yeah.
Before, along the same line, the money is coming from Red Cross and what have you. But meanwhile, people are staying in a hotel. And as I said earlier, the hotels are jacking their rates. It's not fair. We're starting to check the same time down.
Yeah, I mean, if that's happening, there are people that think they're being gouged on prices. The Bucks County Consumer Protection Office is people to call because they can investigate that and then refer it to the Attorney General. Because that's illegal.
I think Tuesday, when you guys get feedback from the people that have damages, how long before they'll hear back from you guys as to like next steps?
So we are in the process of finishing the calls to people that we've assessed as major damage. Jeff, one over here. From my understanding, the process is we'll submit the application. It takes 3 to 4 days for all of those reviews to be done. Then the outreach continues for another 2 days, and then if all of the application is approved or parts are approved, the money starts to flow back to the affected parties within 3 to 4 days after that. That's my understanding of how the process works. That's in the small business association loan process. We're still trying to determine if it's going to be the individual grants or, the more grand financial relief packages. We just don't know where we're going to end up yet. We're still working through those calls.
Do you know what the cost of the storage facilities be able to be
We strongly encourage that everybody who has expended any money to start to recover, keep your receipts. Absolutely, keep your receipts.
No, but Daughter, I do want to make a point that, so it's in Bristol and this is this area, but also right over the border in Philadelphia had flooding. So the multi-agency resource center will also be Bristol and Philadelphia. So it's really this watershed area here. So when we collect data and we talk about do we meet thresholds, we look at the whole Commonwealth in terms of are we meeting thresholds.
Governor Wolf. I'm Mayor Ben Salem, and I know the governor has to go. Governor, thank you so much for coming here today. It's very important that he sees the devastation that we have here. And Ben Salem has a lot of other areas, and I'll give you a lot of pictures, Governor, that you can look at. But anyway, this is a priority down here, Ben Salem County, state, and certainly we hope the federal government all helps and comes together as a team to win and get this all corrected shortly. Again, thank you, Governor, for being here.